Hi everybody and welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, that's Jack.
Hello once again.
And as always, we're going to jump right into something that costs less than 10 bucks and it's going to be real easy to do. This is going to be one of our slow cook stuff, so you're going to put it in a crock pot to do it. It's going to take like 6 to 8 hours. And so it's going to be beef stew, and we're going to do some cornbread as well, so let's jump right into it. Alright, totally simple. If you got a crock pot, you're going to need some stew meat, which is like 5 bucks. And a lot of vegetables. Like we're going to use half an onion, some carrots, but only like 1 or 2. I don't know why they leave this on, just to make sure it's organic. Cut that off, throw it out.
I actually like carrots in my stew.
Gross. We have some potatoes, a couple of cloves of garlic, and then we got cornbread stuff, so we're going to need a little milk and an egg, like 1 egg. And then now take these fruit vegetables and scrub them. Scrub them good. It's dirt. Those aren't lines on the carrots. That's actual dirt.
Yep,
So you're going to have to just chop all this stuff up. So throw out the stupid little green ends, the carrots, and then dice these down. Just mind your fingers. I actually did this without cutting myself. I almost did right there. Now, it doesn't matter if they're thick or thin or whatever you want. Just your own personal preference. I did some of both. Then I think see if there's any difference. That was probably a penis joke where I was slowed down, but that would just sped it up. Now, potatoes, I just quarter these. You can make them smaller. If you make them too small as they cook in the stew, they just kind of come apart. So you want them about that big, at the very biggest.
Biggest?
You know? Yeah, you don't want them any bigger than that. Other than that, you just have just giant ass chunks of it in there. Now it's all done. That you put it in the crock pot thing.
Or try to.
I'm not smart. This is all a cutting board. I could just pick it up and dump it. But okay, so then you put in enough water to cover what you got in there. So that was right at 8 cups. Everything I've talked about before that I looked at the recipes was like 2 cups.
That's not nearly enough water.
That was 8 to cover that, and we added another 2 later. You want to stir them in a little bit, just throw it all in there. Then your meat, if you're going to cook it on the stovetop, you want to sear it first. You can put it in your crock pot. Like I said, it takes 6 to 8 hours. Just throw it in raw, and it'll cook it while it's in there, especially if it's beef.
Yep.
That's fine. Stir it in a little bit, but like I said, now it's poking out. Here's your chance for your seasoning. We put Creole seasoning in, right?
Yep.
The Zatarain stuff, and then some Tony Chachere's because we want to fight them to see which one's the toughest, which one you can actually taste the most. This one's the more spice stuff because we're in Texas. This is what you add to your stuff, but you can add just about anything
Whatever
to
you
it.
want to it. To make it not taste like boiled water with meat in it.
Yeah. Now, also, this is going to thicken up as you cook it because the starch is breaking down in the potato and the meat, and you can add like half a cup to a cup full of flour while you're cooking this if you want it to thicken up. But I don't usually do it.
Yeah, it was thick enough. We didn't have to.
Yeah. So just be sure to stir that up, get it in there, and then just take it covered, put it in your crock pot, set it for high, and then let it sit. It took 5 hours. Now, while you're waiting that 5 hours, 30 minutes before you start your cornbread, so just crack that egg in there, right? Just the one, and then take your fork and beat it like it owes you money. Give it. Where's my money, egg? And then there's like 2/3 of a cup of milk. It's all in the instructions, but we're just walking you through it. And then the cornbread mix right on the top of it. Right, you can try to whisk it in there. This is the biggest bowl we had, so it kind of makes a mess. If you got a blender, it works. So you just whisk it with your fork for 5 minutes.
Go at it.
It gets all thin like that. Now we use this muffin tin thing. You can use any kind of thing, like the big round ones or the square ones or the disposable ones. We wanted to use this. So just hit it with a little bit of oil or butter. Hopefully the propellant works better for you than it did for us.
Yeah.
Sprayed it. Now I think there was like 12 of these things that didn't do.
It made 9.
Yeah, it made 9.
Yeah, it made 9.
Now, when you fill these in, don't fill them all the way to the top. We made that mistake before and ended up with cornbread
that
everywhere.
expanded.
Yeah. This one we do about half to 3/4 of the way up. It doesn't expand near as much as anything like flour because it's cornmeal. So be sure to put it in there, and then put it in for 20 to 30 minutes. Keep an eye on it, especially if it's thin. Don't use all of it. And that should be done at about the same time the stew is done on your 5-hour wait. So you pull these out. A little bit of brown on top, you want it, but you want that yellow color. And you just get a fork, circle it around, and pull it out. And then boom.
There you
got
go.
Beef stew with cornbread, which is actually outstanding, super cheap, and one of those things that it just takes a while if you want to do it. You can do it on stovetop for like 2.5 hours if you want to do it that way, but you need to sear the meat first. But it cost us like $8 all total, and it's going to feed us like 6 or 7 times a piece, easy. So there you have it. That's one of our slow cooker or crock pot. If you're from down here, one of those recipes. You can just leave it on, cook all day, come back in after you're done working, have some good stew. It's great in the cold weather, but it's good in the winter time or the summertime too, which is great. Texas down here is pretty much hot all the time anyway, so we just eat it whenever. And cornbread, that's awesome. So we'll see you next time. Be sure to look us up on YouTube on Tuesdays and Fridays on Living Between Paychecks Kitchen, or you can find us at Instagram at Living Between, or on Facebook at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen there. We'll see you next time.